with Erickson Lubin. Now, Erickson, congratulations on a sensational knockout. Walk us through the fight, my man.
I see. I started off patient. It's 12 rounds, so I started off patient. I kept using my jab. That's something I lacked in the past was my jab. So I kept using it. And I tried to set up big shots off my jab. And in the third round, I think I hurt him with a big shot, overhand left. But I knew he wasn't that hurt. I knew he was able to recuperate and still land that big blow that he has. I knew he's powerful. He punches hard. And in the fourth round, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep going for that shot. I'm gonna keep trying to land that shot. So I kept jabbing him. And that round, he wanted to move around the ring a lot. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep jabbing him. I know he's gonna try to come with his own. So I kept jabbing him. I kept jabbing him. And then once I seen that opening, I did a little squat, just try to trick him. And his eyes widened, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna throw it. Boom! And I threw it, and it was night-night. If the ref would let him continue, I was gonna go after him and just try to chop his head off.
Talk to us about the excitement after that knockout.
Man, I was excited, man. Everybody's out there. It's on CBS prime time. You had all the celebrities out there, all the champions out there. Potential opponents out there. The dudes that's the champions in my weight class, they were out there and stuff. So, my coaches, they were very happy for me because we worked hard. We landed that overhand left a lot in camp on my sparring partners. I'm just really excited, and I just want to keep moving forward.
Talk to us about joining that list of young champions, because you have a fighter by the name of Fernando Vargas. I believe he was only 20 years old when he won the IBF title. Talk to us about joining that list.
Well, that list is amazing. It goes on with, Germell Davis, he just set the bar on that one. He just captured the title. So, props to him. And, that motivated me to go out there, and perform even harder. Everybody's out there and they're watching, and, they're expecting me to do things. And, I lived up to my expectations.
What's next?
Man, hopefully we can get that title shot against Charlo or Hatley, whoever wins that fight. I know they just postponed that fight, but I'm still willing to stay active, and I'll fight for the any other titles they have.
You think you had the best performance on CBS tonight?
I think I did. That Thurman and Garcia fight.
Hey, good job, man.
Thank you. Thurman did what he had to do. He boxed the whole fight. He did what he had to do. He was smart. He didn't want to exchange with Danny. Danny's strong. You seen the later rounds, he was breaking down a little bit. So he did what he had to do. He was smart.
Now, how big of a statement you think you made tonight? You think people in America are being put on notice, like Erickson Lubin is that guy at 54?
Definitely. That's what I said. If they didn't, at the press conference, I was like, if you don't know me now, you wouldn't know me by Saturday. And hopefully, I made a big enough statement for them, to take notice. Thank you.